I sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum.
Welcome to 10 Drink Minimum. I'm Chris Burnett. This is James Smiley.
Hello.
And we're here at Brewlab 101 on Eubank, and we're here with the owner, Scott Salvas. Welcome to the show, Scott.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, absolutely. So you guys are the primary sponsor for Albuquerque Comic-Con this weekend, and you guys are going to have a beverage there called Lab Aid. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, so obviously we're all about beer and cider, but we can't bring that to the convention center. They have their own liquor license. Mm-hmm. So it's dry January, so that's fun. Let's do something interesting. So we have our Lab Aid product, which we actually released this last summer. It's an electrolyte seltzer. It's packed with potassium and magnesium and sodium. Get you hydrated. It's a great drink. It goes down easy. If you want to take it home or come here to the bar, we can mix it with something if you want to spike it. But it'll be spike-free at the Comic-Con. So,
man, that's pretty awesome. I honestly can't wait to try it. We're going to be there all weekend. 10 Drink Minimum will be there in the flesh all weekend.
All week long.
Live streaming.
Cool. Yeah.
So that'll be great. So I can't wait.
Yes, and we're going to be giving out some samples, so that's going to be awesome. So I'll definitely make sure you guys get some samples. We're going to have a lot of cans there. We're really excited to get it out there. And, you know, it's always fun kind of in this business. You know, everyone just sees us as beer and cider and drinks and alcohol, but to be able to do something a little bit different, something that can, you know, be all ages and be able to get into this kind of venue is really exciting for us. It's a little different for us. So.
Awesome. I cannot wait. So one thing I have to ask, this is my first time at Brewlab.
Mine as well.
So this is your second.
Are you enjoying your time?
Yeah. So far, I was honestly been to a lot of breweries in my time and very impressed with this place.
Oh, good. Awesome.
The beer that I've had so far, I totally love. So it's the Sexy New Mexi.
Yes, and can I plug that a little bit? So the Sexy New Mexi was just rated the #1 Mexican lager in Albuquerque by Albuquerque the magazine. So
I've heard of them.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. So.
Yeah, I like it a lot. So this is your second location.
Yes, sir.
Because you guys started in Rio Rancho.
Yeah, Rio Rancho is where all the magic happens, right? That's where we do all the brewing, much larger facility. We've been there almost 7 years now.
Yeah.
Got into this location about 2 years ago. Because we had to get on the other side of the river. Because when you tell people you're up there in the Rio Rancho on the west side, everyone's over here is like, nope, not going there.
People like me have like a little bit of a
you're like,
cringe in my
no, your beer's fantastic, but I'm not going there.
I understand you have good beer, but I got to drive where?
Yeah.
I've been over there before, and it was because someone drove me.
Somebody
I was like, we're going.
That's the only reason you went, right? Because somebody drove you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's a long way to go.
So we had to get over here, right?
Yeah.
So we had to, right?
Well, welcome to Albuquerque.
Thank you.
Stoked about it. Welcome to 10 Drink Minimum podcast. Stoked to have you on. So let me ask you this. So we were kind of talking a little bit before the show. So you have a musical background.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
How did you transition
Use that
from
against me?
No, I would never do that, man. It's really weird. We get accused of being like, not accused. I shouldn't say the word accused. We get called the like Albuquerque Music Podcast, and I was like literally telling people, I was like, that's not us, and they're like, we kind of see it that way because you have all these music. Because I have a lot of musicians on.
But some bands do require 10 drink minimum to be able to see. I mean, they do.
See, that's where the name of our show came from. Is everybody's like, why is it called that? And I'm like, do you have to drink that much? I'm like, no, because back when I first started the show, I was like, it's going to take 10 drinks to like think we're good at what we do. And luckily, 20 years later, I think people think we're okay at this point. But so what made you transition from music to like, I want to make beer?
Well, that's a fun story.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I was playing pretty seriously on the Albuquerque scene in several different bands for about 20 years. And that was sort of my serious side hustle. I'm an engineer by day. I actually have a day job. Mm-hmm. So, but I always like to have a very serious, like, side thing, let's say. And I don't know, I kind of got to a point where I'd played a lot. I was ready to do something different. My wife and I got a new home to us, and I wanted to remodel it. So I kind of quit the band, spent 6 months remodeling. Long story short, got bored, And my wife's like, well, what do you want for Christmas? So I'm like, well, I saw that Mr. Beer kit over at Dillard's.
No,
yeah,
Mr.
no, I have
Beer.
no shame in telling you how I started making beer.
That's awesome.
So I bought this Mr. Beer kit, and I started making beer and having parties, and my friends started coming, and year after year went by, and my skill set developed. And a lot of my friends were eventually like, dude, like, your beer's getting pretty good. It's getting as good as these big breweries over here. Like, if you want to open up a brewery, I want to help you. Like, I want to be an investor. I want to help you make this happen. So I'm like, okay, well, that's different than somebody patting you on the back. Somebody actually wants to put their money where their mouth is.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal. So after, this was almost 8 years of doing this, I looked into it, and I ran all the numbers like a good engineer and proved to myself it was possible, and Brewlab happened. And I'm so thankful that we are here 7 years later and kicking butt. And
So what's the genesis of the name Brewlab 101?
well, like I said, engineer background, right? So I spent a lot of time working in chemistry labs too. And so I am self-taught. So I didn't ever go to like professional brewing school or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it was all trial and error. So it was all chemistry, it was all physics, it was all engineering to learn how to brew and how to make it happen. And so when it was time to come up with the theme, I thought, well, what is nobody really doing? And what do I know? I know science and engineering. So you see we have the whole awesome chalkboard over here, right, with all the chemical equations, all the secrets to make great beer. And obviously people saw like a little bit of Breaking Bad sort of reference.
That's what I saw.
It was a scientific theme for another sort of product we all love.
Yeah, I hear you. So there's no crystal meth in the beer though.
No,
Okay.
but I can't. Well, I can't really say actually.
All right.
No,
Well,
there's nothing.
Fair enough. Like if I'm
We're
addicted,
family friendly over here. Okay.
if I'm addicted tomorrow, we'll know what's going on. We'll know what's happening.
Could just be in the water. You never
Could
know.
be. Yeah.
Could be.
I mean,
could be.
it could happen.
But 90% water and beer. Just
Well, then I mean, not to plug another product though. so then I have to ask, like, what was your, when you were younger, what was your go-to beer that was not yours?
How young? So that's interesting. So, I was never really a big beer drinker. I probably didn't start really drinking beer until college. But when I did drink beer,
when we all start drinking beer,
yeah,
college,
right.
yeah?
And eventually you get to the point where you're not just drinking it to get a buzz,
Right.
You're actually drinking it because you enjoy it, right?
You only got 2 30-packs?
Right. So, I before really the whole, craft beer scene really developed, especially here in New Mexico. I mean, I really did drink, I guess, what was your predecessor to craft? I mean, Sam Adams.
Oh, yeah.
I
Tire.
remember, Fat Tire. I remember drinking like some Red Wolf and Shinerbach and
Whoa,
things like, yeah, remember that?
Thought of Red
back
Wolf.
in the day?
I drink Shinerbach now sometimes because I like it's nostalgia. Red Wolf, I have not thought of that.
Yeah, right, forever, right? I don't even know what happened to it.
I think we're gonna say Red
But
Dog.
man, that was a cool bottle. With the Red Wolf on there. So.
There was a lot of that was like how ignorant we were. You would go to the liquor store and you'd be like, well, that bottle's cool.
Yeah, well, yeah. How else would you decide, right?
And then you'd be like, oh, I'm classy. I'm drinking this not American like Bud Light.
Yeah,
or
you look cool.
I look cool.
Gets the chicks.
Yeah.
And then I had Rogue Ale. Was kind of doing their thing. Rest in peace.
Rest
now,
in peace,
Rogue
Rogue Ale,
Yeah, let's salute.
There we go. There you go.
That's
Rogue
a rough
Ale.
one.
Dead guy. Oh.
Yep. So I mean, those were the gateways. Back in the day. So.
Yeah, for me, it was, I went to Germany when I was 18, and
oh, wow.
That was the first time I'd ever drank beer, stupidly, because you don't want to go to Germany, drink beer, and then come back to America and go, what do we have that's like this? And they go, nothing.
Yeah.
And so Shinerbach was the original beer that and Bass that I was like,
Bass
oh,
Ale, yeah.
this is as close as I have ever seen. And so, so those were my gateway beers here. So very, very cool. So what is a beer that you drink now that's not yours?
It's not mine.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because, I'm usually around my spot, so I tend to drink a lot of my own beer. I'm obviously a big fan. But when I'm not drinking my own stuff, I'm probably buying something at the store, and I tend to like, I like Elevated IPA from La Cumbre.
Okay.
That's always been a go-to.
Yeah,
it's always been one of my muses, and always, just one of those quintessential, fantastic pillars of the community. I like a couple of Santa Fe products are really good. If I like something light, I like the Social Hours pretty good.
Do you guys ever?
Sorry, no, the NMX Standard. That's the one. Yeah, NMX Standard is really. And I also like the 4K or 7K. Sorry, 7K. Yeah.
Do you ever collaborate with any other breweries?
We have done several collaborations before. Yep. So, and we're looking to do more.
Oh, that's very cool. That's I love that. What is like being around Smiley? We travel together, so like a lot of times he can't drink beer with wheat. But like, what we know that the IPA is king.
Well,
not anymore, huh? Or the Mexican lager.
Yeah, it's gray now, I would say, right? I mean, IPA was always king, but I'd say in the last couple of years, people have realized, well, you can't always drink 7-8% all the time. And so you're starting to see the rise of the lager, which the lager was always popular, right? But I think you're seeing the rise of the lager in the craft scene. So, like we were talking before, I'd say, most of our sales are going to be either light lagers or IPAs, right?
Yeah.
Like our Sexy New Mexi, again, award-winning. 20% of our sales, of all of our sales, is one beer.
Yeah.
That tells you a lot.
Yeah.
Whereas our second seller, which is our Wicked Pissa, which is our hazy style IPA, maybe like 11%. So you already see our, the IPA is already still half. So it's kind of nice. We really like to try and have all the styles. We realize everyone has different tastes, and sometimes different tastes on different days.
Yeah.
And so you're always trying to find that blend of like having those standard beers that everybody likes, but also rotating in some new stuff. Like I had a customer over here give me grief because we had a fantastic IPA, which is our experimental IPA, but it's only on like once a month, and then we change it.
Oh, well, at least you have it once a month.
But then I get grief when we change it because they loved it. And like, well, but you're going to love the next thing too. And but meanwhile, if you don't, then we have this thing that you always love to drink.
There's breweries where they made a beer and I loved it so much, and then they never made it again. And I'm like, when are you going to bring that back?
It's tough making everybody happy in this business. You know what I'm saying?
In every business. So like, I've seen the brewery industry go through like different incarnations. There was a lot of wheats. There was a lot of there was a while that the sours were like just killing it
everywhere.
What is the trend right now?
That's a great question. Yeah. So we talked about lagers a little bit. I mean, I think what's kind of a trend and something we've always sort of been part of and sort of spearheading is ciders.
Oh,
so cider's not beer. Cider's technically wine.
Right.
We have a wine-making license. You actually have a couple of our awesome ciders here in front of you.
Which one is the cider?
So the Newton's Apple's right here, and the Lady Guava, which is our guava ciders right here.
Oh,
so Newton's Apple is kind of our flagship.
Oh, are there two? Like, is that the Newton's Apple?
Let me take a look here.
Yeah.
Now, those are all beers right there.
Oh, okay. So I'm
you
gonna try
only
this.
have two ciders on your flights,
So
but we
this one?
have a couple more ciders here.
All right. You want to try that one?
But that's the Lady Guava, which is an excellent selling product for us. It took us a long time to find a great guava puree to really make that hit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the Newton's Apple, that's kind of your straight-up classic cider, right?
Yeah.
It's sort of our answer to sours. We've done some sours from time to time, but I'm kind of a firm believer that a lot of breweries have done sours because it's very different than beer. They tend to, sometimes they're fruity, and it's a nice alternative to beer. We just wanted to go for the whole extra license so we could just go straight into cider. My wife's a big cider fan. I tried at home when I was a home brewer to make beers that she would like. I failed miserably every time. So I said, what do you like? And she's like, well, I like cider. I'm like, fine, I'll make cider. And the rest is history. So Newton's Apple, that's the first cider I've ever made at home.
So having traveled to Washington State, where like I feel like the cider is one of the staples of their diet, there's two kinds of cider. There's the sweet, and then there's the dry. And this one, to me, like I was like expecting it to be sweet. I was expecting it to be dry. It's kind of like
right in between, isn't it?
In between, yeah.
That's why we're popular. Because we're not necessarily super sweet. And the thing is, we're also not really sweet because, everything we use is really natural. Like, we don't use any artificial syrups or anything like that. You really get that cloyy sweetness when you use artificial stuff. Everything here, like that guava is going to be a little bit sweeter, but it's still a puree. It's a natural guava puree.
But it's not like ridiculously sweet.
Exactly, right? So that's why our stuff's right in the middle. And that's, from the very get-go, that's what everyone said. Like, I like your stuff because it's right in the middle. And it hits for almost every person.
Well, what I like about that is I'll go to a place and they'll have like a beer or a cider or something I've never had before. And I'll get one. And someone will be, well, how is it? And I'll go, well, it's good. But I don't think I'm going to have two of them.
Oh, well, that's fair, yeah.
And I don't mean that in a way that it's not good. I mean that it's like too rich, too sweet,
too much going on there. Yeah,
too much. You know, it's overboard. Yeah. And I like as I've gotten older in life and as an artist, like you get older and you're like, you know what, being more subtle is an art form.
Yeah.
Is something that's great. Is something that people like. Mm-hmm. And especially as a business where you're like, I would like for people to have one and like enjoy it, but I would like also them to buy a second one.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're in the game of, right? We have to ultimately sell our product. So we love the artistic, the creativity of what we do, but we do have to sell enough of it to be able to pay the bills, right? And so, with ciders, people who love cider, they tend to drink several of them in a visit. We're converting people to cider all the time. Even like hardcore IPA lovers who would think they're like macho guys who only drink beer, they'll drink a cider. Or what's even really fun is you take a cider, you take a little of that guava, you put in that Wicked Pissa, hazy IPA there, and you add a little fruitiness to that. Wow, that sells crazy. We call those 80-20s. So the whole thing is, I tell people we work hard to make very approachable products, approachable beers, approachable ciders, that you will find a style you like, and you will like it over and over again.
See, I liked when you talked about the mixing, because like I feel like that is kind of gone. Where back in the day you would have the black and tan. Mm-hmm. I think if you brought up black and tan nowadays, people wouldn't even know what that is.
Most don't.
Yeah, and there was a lot of
unless you're Irish, like half Irish, like me.
Oh yeah. I'm Scotch Irish. So
all right, well, there you go.
I just recently found that out. I did the DNA. I did the DNA thing, and I was like, I'm like 45% Scotch and Northern Irish, more than anything else in my whole body. I was like, oh, wow.
So this guy can drink a lot, and that's what that means.
Well, yeah, historically, family-wise. But like you would used to go to breweries, and they'd have like a thing on they'd be like, mix this much beer with this much done, and it's this, and and like. I feel like there's the fun of that's kind of gone. Like the one thing I dislike, and I've had brewers on before, and I've made this comment. I was like, well, I feel like the brewery industry is kind of stagnant, and I don't mean that here because like I came in here and I was very pleasantly surprised to see your menu. So like I would tell a brewer, I was like, before I walk into a brewery, I can usually tell you what the menu is, and they'd be like, okay, and I'd be like, 5 to 7 IPAs. One's a West Coast. One's a hazy.
Yep.
One has some sort of fruitiness in because that was the beer that they messed up.
Yeah.
So then they had to hop it.
Yeah.
Right? I said a Mexican lager, a sour, a cider, and what was the other one? I think that's it.
No, that's
a Kolsch.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Am I wrong on that?
You're not completely wrong.
No.
I think there's some inventive breweries still out there. I think we try to be innovative, right? I mean, we have 20 taps in Rio Rancho of all of our own stuff.
I like to hear that.
14 taps here.
Love to hear that.
We have a great menu both sides here, and we also not only do we have the beers and ciders that you're drinking, we can turn a lot of these ciders into cocktails.
Yeah,
we do lots of fun things like ocean water and stuff like that.
Love that.
And then we also have spirits too. So we also support the distillery industry here in New Mexico by having vodka and gin and agave spirits. So we can make craft cocktails. We also have wine. So we're all about local, right? The whole thing is about local New Mexico craft.
Yeah. What am I about to drink here?
Let's see. That's the Bull. Okay, so that is an IPA.
Oh, here we go.
That is our what I call a modern spin on a classic West Coast IPA.
It doesn't burn my nostrils out of my head.
That's good. That's good. I think it's approachable. It's going to have a little IPA hit there.
It's not bad though. Yeah.
No, it's approachable.
Yeah.
It's pretty complicated. It's about 7 different hops in there, about 3 different malts in there.
Does that have wheat in it?
Take a couple sips. Let it meander, and
it doesn't punch you in the mouth, which I like. Yeah. I don't need a beer to I don't need to chew it. I'm good with it. I'm good.
And you don't need it to be like so bitter that you make a face like this, right? So,
yeah, the bitter beer face. Remember the back of the day? Bitter beer face.
Well, remember, like I said before, we want to make approachable beers. And I've even had people who didn't think they liked IPAs, like yourself. We might convert you. Who drank our beer, especially the Wicked, which is even less IBUs. Yeah. And they're like, wow, I actually really like this. And then all of a sudden they go from drinking a light beer or a cider
You've got plenty
IPA.
of beers I don't have to have that.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. What else we got? What do we got here?
Okay, so that is a Ludicrous Speed. So Ludicrous Speed. Yeah, he got it. Good job. Good job. So Ludicrous Speed is a wee heavy Scotch ale, right? Because what did they go? They went to
Oh gosh, what was it? We've gone to Plaid.
Yes, there you go. That's why it's
Did you see that they? So to get off topic a little bit, did you see they just finished filming the new one?
I saw it. I'm so excited, dude. Spaceballs is one of my most
exciting.
favorite movies ever.
Exciting. So this is Scotch ale. Do you like a Scotch ale? I haven't had a great Scotch
I
ale in a
will-
long
I'll
time.
try
Try
it.
it. So we have a Scotch ale. It's strong. It's 8.5%.
Okay, that's
It's
a
got
Scotch
some
ale.
sweet finish,
I like it.
right?
I
A
like
little bit
it.
of robust malt in there, so a little bit of roastiness in there.
I see. Yeah. You're taking me
But
back.
very approachable, and we have to watch people because people like to drink many of those sometimes, and it's very strong. So
It's funny because I used to drink them.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Because we all used to go to a place called Kelly.
Okay.
Kelly's back in the day.
yeah,
and,
I know. I remember Kelly's.
They had the Scotch ale, and I would always get it. And I was like, so that really reminds me of it big
Yeah,
time.
Kelly's was awesome.
It's funny you said the Mr. Beer thing. I keep getting you get Instagram, you get the algorithm, and it's like you want to brew beer at home. There's like a new one, and it's not even it is kind of Mr. Beer, but it's like, have you seen this thing where
I don't know.
you get a free?
I've seen a couple different contraptions over the
Well,
years.
this one it's like a little plastic cooler jug with like a plastic tap handle on the front, and they give it to you for free as long as you sign up and
you buy the ingredients, I guess. Right?
It's a subscription, and you have to get 6 orders in order to pay for it. And I went online, and people were like, if the beer's not if it's not expired, it actually isn't too bad. And I was like, oh wow, but it's like you can learn how to brew at home. I'm like, that's not brewing. You're just pouring the ingredients in and adding the water, and it's like,
Yeah, it's not. But what I'd say, like I said, in my defense, using Mr. Beer Kit, it is a very easy, approachable way for somebody who wants to think about brewing to start. Because that's how I started. Because I didn't know anything about brewing. Right now, again, I have a water chemistry background. I've done process control. I mean, I've done all these different things because a lot of it's process control. But when you start to think about the ingredients and the nuances of them, it's really hard to wrap your mind around that.
That
when
means
you
cleaning.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you lost sanitation. Everything's about sanitation.
Cleaning.
But I'm saying once you sort of see it's not rocket science, and then you begin to say, okay, well, I can think about this now. So maybe I'm not just going to do it as simple. I'm going to go to the next step, right? You go from your pre-hop malts to hopping it yourself, and you're doing like a partial mash, and then you're doing a full mash. And that's sort of how I got there.
Yeah.
And really for me, it was sort of about developing recipes at each level. And then as I changed it, as I got more advanced, keeping that consistency, right? Because beer brewing is all about consistency, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when you drink this product, I hope you come back in a month and you drink it, it will taste exactly the same. And you'll be like,
that's probably the hardest part. Probably,
well, it is. And that's the process control that's involved in doing this. So
because
that's the science, right? That's the science on the board here. Right?
Yeah, because I've gone to breweries and I'm like, oh, I like this beer, and I've came back the next week, and then I'm like, or a month later, and I'm like, and
something's wrong, right?
Something's wrong, and then you come back a couple months later, and you're like, no, there it is. And that's that consistency.
Exactly.
And like, I feel like that's not just beer. That's your food, your whatever. Consistency is key, and like that's kind of where like the fast food industry took over, is because they
like
were
McDonald's, and all these guys, right?
And I mean, someone wants to come here and they want to drink the sexy New Mexi, and they want it to taste like they did 2 weeks ago.
And if we're ever a little bit off, because everyone's off a little bit.
Oh yeah.
All my customers will tell me.
Oh yeah.
They will not let me get away with this.
There's also that new batch.
Yeah. No,
I don't know what's going on.
It's real. It's a real thing.
And I feel like a lot of people do not understand is beer has like this like tough a thing to it. Like people are like, oh, drinking beer. Beer is like the most fragile thing there is.
Oh, it's very fragile.
It's so fragile.
Just a baby.
Like I was explaining to some people at work, I was like, that's why the bottles are, I mean, most of them are brown and green. I was like, to block out the light.
Yeah.
Because light
will destroy it. Oxygen will really destroy it.
Yep.
I mean, beer's extremely fragile.
Light oxygen temperature, man. Like seriously, what?
Yeah. I mean,
Talk about it.
Yep.
Canning the beer changes the taste of it.
It does. It sure does. Yeah. Anytime you handle the beer, anytime you transfer, anytime you do anything to it.
What was the slogan? The bottled beer tastes in a can. I remember that slogan, and I would be like, well, why? Who would want that? And then I got older, and I was like, oh, I get it. You definitely want a beer out of a bottle tastes way better than a beer out of a can. So people don't understand. Like if during the process there's the cleaning wasn't done properly, that changes the taste. So to get that
every little
consistency
thing
is ridiculous.
And like I said, the sanitation. I mean, you got to think about when when you're moving beer,
Yep.
you can talk about the can or the bottle, but think about all the lines that beer is moving through.
Yeah.
All those had to be sanitized properly and cleaned and all this stuff, right? I mean, there's so much to it that people don't realize. And so that's kind of why I make the point, like, if somebody wanted to start real small level with some of these Mr. Beer kits, there's no shame in that, because the thing is, you have so many things to worry about. If you don't have to worry about everything all at once, and I really do feel like I was able to evolve to create great beer because I didn't have to worry about all the variables on the first batch.
Yeah.
I controlled my variables, and then I expanded a little bit more, and then I could control another variable or two, and then so on and so forth. And I really feel like that made a difference. I'm sure people argue against my logic there, but I'm sticking to it.
No, I mean, hey, if it works for you, then who cares? Like, I have a question. Like, I'm a big wheat guy. What happened there? Why are there no more wheats anywhere? Like, we have
a wheat beer here.
But no one else.
We have our Walter Witt.
It's so rare. Is there one of those here? That one?
No, they didn't give it to you. Well, the Wicked Pissa does have some wheat in it.
Okay.
But I'll make sure after this I get you the actual Walter Witt.
All right.
I know he was worried about wheat. We didn't want to have a problem. I didn't want to have any problems on the podcast.
Wow, thanks.
We don't have any allergic reactions here.
Oh, he's not allergic to it. It just,
But I mean, we do have a wheat beer.
I mean,
we always
is.
have a wheat beer. And
But,
I don't know.
but they all disappeared. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, all over. Like,
Same thing happened with ambers.
Yeah.
And we always have an amber too.
Yeah. Or reds for a little while.
Which you actually have the Sassy Brunette. You have the amber on your flight.
Which
here.
one's the amber here?
So that one right there, yeah.
I want to try this.
And that's the thing is, I don't know, this is a weird thing to say, but I feel like a lot of breweries have sometimes chased a trend.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of an old school guy.
Yeah,
I'm
good.
not that young, right? And I started brewing, making classic styles, reading a lot of literature from classic beer brewers, right, who wrote the Bibles, literally. And those guys were not chasing trends.
No.
Those guys were brewing standard stuff. So I have always tried to make great classic styles. And not really worry about trends and all that stuff. And do I miss a trend occasionally? Maybe. But do I make good beer that the average person can approach and like and drink of all ages? Yes. And that's more important to me.
That is important. And I mean, there's always the one, like, it's weird. Like, back in the day, this is how much I've been around the brewery industry. When it first started here, what I always loved was, like, they would come back from GABF and they'd be like, we won a gold medal. And that's what you would hear. And people would be like, that's amazing. And it was like, well, we found and then, like, as I got to know everyone, they were like, well, we found the category where there was not as many people in it. And then we tried to make the best beer in that category. It was like the chocolate vanilla, like, stout category,
Yeah.
And I always thought that was like, oh. So then when we had some people, like, leave here and, like, go win, like, the world IPA and the world, that's when you're like, oh, like, people are really, because there's certain categories that are, like, really saturated.
Oh, yeah.
Your lagers, your Pilsner, like
IPAs, yeah.
IPA. And so that's kind of an amazing thing. So to make an IPA or a Mexican lager that, like, is voted the best of the city, that's something to say.
I think so. We and I always tell people, like, we enjoy awards, but we don't make anything to chase awards, right?
No.
I mean, at the end of the day, awards don't pay your bills. So we try to make beers that are really, again, approachable. People enjoy. They like. I get lots of feedback. I'm in my locations all the time, getting feedback from customers, and that's what we care about. And if we get an award along the way, awesome. But I'm not going to change anything we do in order to win.
Well, no,
award,
and then like, I was interviewing somebody, and they're big in the beer industry, and they made a very good point. Like, when you go to some of those awards things, they're like, they're not voting on the best IPA. They're not voting on the best Pilsner. They're voting on which one they have an idea in their minds.
It hits the style specifications.
Yes. And
that's the only thing that matters.
And that's the only thing that matters. And, like, but that might not be the best beer to the public.
No, not
that's
at all.
just to them as a judge. It hit this barometer more than the other ones did. And I always and when they told me that, I was like, well, I hate that. Like, there's no innovation in that. You know what I mean?
Well, that's.
So you're telling me it's judged like a dog shows.
Yes. Yes.
This is the best example of this breed.
Yeah.
This is the best example
and
of this.
that is a fair comparison, because that is a competition. That is a beer competition.
Yeah.
Is to produce a beer that is as perfect a style or breed, as you say, as possible, right? I mean, that beer's probably still going to be very good.
It is.
Doesn't
No,
mean
it will.
everyone's going to love that style, right? But yes, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to sell fantastic, right? I mean, there's plenty of breweries have gone out of business who have won lots of awards.
That's right.
And then plenty of breweries who are kicking butt who've never won an award.
That's right.
And that's okay. I
See,
mean,
and to me, if you want to make like the goal is like you said, you're like, well, I won because I made the best tasting beer because a lot of people bought it. There you go.
well, to me, that's really winning, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that is
staying
winning.
open and paying your bills is winning.
Yeah. Being able to expand, go to different locations. What's a category of beer that you feel like is very underrated?
Ooh, underrated. A category of beer?
Not category's not the best word. What
Style?
Or a
I
beer?
suppose?
I don't
Style.
like style.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm trying to think. Like, what
Yeah.
do I think is underrated? Wow. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's not beer, but I'll go back to cider.
Okay.
I feel like cider. A lot of people just don't know about yet. Because it's a big part of what we do.
In this part of the United States, we don't. But some parts of the United States are big.
Yeah, there are, and maybe my reference is to this location because this has very much been a beer lager sort of IPA.
Because I went to Washington State, and the cideries there are like what we have here for breweries. Like it was crazy. I was like, oh wow, but like.
If I had to pick beer, I mean, like I said, we were kind of talking about the beers that people don't seem to make as much.
Yeah.
Like our amber has always been very popular.
I like
for us.
an
Probably
amber.
our 5th best seller.
Yeah.
But a lot of breweries stopped making ambers because it was considered like an antiquated style or an
Yeah.
old style. About a year or so ago, I started seeing a couple breweries bringing it back like it was this new thing. Like there's this renaissance or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it really stuck. But I mean, it's always been a fantastic seller for us. It's about as tried and true. It's really the first beer recipe I'd say I mastered in my garage.
Yeah.
And it's always been good. It's just I think some people poo-poo that because they say, well, that's just too simple or too boring or whatever. But, a lot of people who want to just come out and drink good beer at a bar, like you said, they're not looking for something crazy or super innovative or fancy or avant-garde. It's just I want a good beer that goes down real easy and I want to order up another one,
Exactly. I want, for me, it's like I want something that, like I can drink. And it's funny because people are like, oh, you're those guys and you're drinking that, and I'm like, yeah, because it's easy to drink. Like for a while there, I was like the big like if I was just going to go not to a brewery, buy beer, what's the beer from Colorado? Not the Colorado, Montucky Cold Snack.
Mm-hmm.
I would drink Montucky Cold Snacks on the show, and I would talk about how good it was, and people go, some guy wrote me and he goes, that's not. I had that beer you talked about. That's not the best beer I've ever had. And I was like, and I literally wrote back, I never one time ever said this is the best beer you'll ever taste. And he goes, it didn't really taste like anything. And I was like, exactly. It didn't like you didn't take a swig and go ugh, or take a swig and it was a beer that you could just sit with your friends and drink and have a good time.
That's what beer's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we lose sight of what's most important with beer or life, and right. I mean, like just sitting around drinking a good beer with some friends.
Yeah.
Sharing
is
some
amazing,
nachos,
right? It's
yeah.
one of life's joys, and I know I'll probably upset a few people, but I'll say we've never strived to make beers for like just the quote unquote beer geeks.
No.
I appreciate
Good.
it when they come in here and they think I have a great beer, but really we're trying to be a great neighborhood pub.
Yeah.
Basically, we want to have great beer, and we hope that people like it so much that they choose a local beer versus maybe a large national brand, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what we want, and
Well,
they keep it local. That's all we want.
You got to keep it local. Like we're all about that, and like the problem with the national brands is they try to push the trends. You know what I mean? Like you won't see the ambers because they stopped selling the ambers, and so then people don't order them when they come to your brewery. And that's the thing that kind of sucks, but it's great when you can like push you as a local brewer or a local business person, you can push the narrative.
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's great. What are we drinking here?
That's actually the one you had before, so I was going to try it out.
Oh, what is this one?
That is a sexy New Mexico.
Oh, try it.
That is
Yeah.
a sexy New Mexican.
I'm a sucker. Like, so I love light beers. I love lagers. I love, like a Pilsner, a Kolsch. I'm a big Kolsch guy.
I love a good Kolsch too.
Oh, like
You like the Blonde Bombshell because we make the Blonde Bombshell. That's what I'm drinking right now.
Okay.
This is sort of like we have made a Kolsch, but it's like our staple, and we kind of brew it like a Kolsch.
Yeah.
The reason why I say that is because a Kolsch is considered like a hybrid. And what you're doing with a Kolsch is you're brewing kind of like a lager, kind of like an ale. What you do is you take an ale yeast and you ferment at a lower temperature. So normally ales, you're going to ferment around 68 degrees, room temperature. Lagers might ferment around 40-ish, 45 degrees, right? But what you do is you take that ale yeast and you push it down to 60 degrees, slows it down. So you're kind of doing an ale that's slowed down a little bit, becomes a little bit more crisp and clean like a lager.
Yeah.
I always say it's kind of like a lager that drinks like an ale or an ale that drinks like a lager. And that's what we do with the blonde. And that's why it's a very satisfying beer because it's very tasty. It has lots of flavor. But it's a little bit more... Yes, you actually have the blonde show right there. It's just a little bit more oomph than a lager, right? Lagers can be sometimes a little too crisp and clean.
Yeah.
This just has it's a little bit more dirty, I guess. Yeah. It's a blonde bombshell, you know. So.
I get what you're saying there.
Yeah.
I like that. No, I dig that. Because I don't know how to explain what you explained it.
I tried to.
Yeah. You just came right out and said it, and I liked it. No.
I'm working my second blonde, so hopefully my explanation makes sense. I don't know. So
it's that first taste. I'm trying to figure out how to describe that.
Yeah. But then you get that first taste, it's different, and then you just drink a few more sips, and you want the next sip. And it's sort of one of my go-tos. It's not real strong. It's 4.9%.
I like that.
So you're not going to get crazy, you know, drunk off of it. And so it's just really smooth. And again, you don't see a lot of people make a blonde either, like as we were talking about, right?
No,
but again,
don't.
a great. It's one of our top sellers. It does great. Again, very approachable. And
Well, see, that's the thing. If I know a brewery makes good light beers, I'll come out and drink them. And it's like, it's weird.
Well, I'll see you next week over here then. So we'll see.
All right. Well, you see, like I feel like there's even like a macho thing where everybody's like,
I bowl up here every once in a while.
Yeah, I gotta have the porter. I gotta have the and like to me also beers are seasonal. Like in the summer, I like like a Mexican lager, a lighter beer. In the winter, I'll drink a stout. I'll drink a porter.
We have a nice bourbon barrel-aged imperial stout right now in town. I don't think that's on your flight, but we can get you that a little later.
I don't know if I want that.
Now, that's a tough boy. That's 10%. It was sat in a whiskey barrel for like 10 months. So
Yeah. On a school night? No,
I know. It's only Tuesday, but...
It's only Tuesday. No, but I mean, I'll try
We'll get your doctor's note if you want,
I'll be all, my work's like, we know what you're out doing. We know what you were doing out there.
I tried out the porter, the peppermint bark porter.
Yeah,
very nice.
do you like that? It was
did.
a little different. It was like our Christmassy sort of.
I was going to say, do you guys have like a holiday? Like, there's a lot of holiday beers.
Kind of, sort of. So the porter is always ever changing. We change the porter about every month.
Oh wow!
And we will do anywhere from just a straight porter to a robust porter to a vanilla porter to I want to do a pecan porter to a coffee porter. We've done a s'mores porter. The mint one was the first time we ever did that one. So my brewers have gotten very inventive with the porter. So again, we always have the porter, but it's always changing, right? It's kind of like our ex-IPA, always an IPA, but changing every month. So again, it's a staple, but evolving, I guess, is about the best way to say it.
What is a beer that you have not made that you're like, all right, we're gonna do that at some point?
Ooh,
we got to get there.
I haven't made an English bitter.
Oh,
An ESB.
ESB.
I'm more of an IPA fan, so just having a beer that's bitter without all the hoppiness is not as attractive. But it's on our list of things to do. We've tried to do a barley wine once many years ago.
Wow.
It came out terrible.
Barley wine.
We actually dumped the whole thing, but I'd like to do that one right.
You didn't throw hops in it, and you're like, this is our hoppy wine?
No, it just...
Thank you for not doing that.
It wasn't good enough. The thing is, we will... If something is not good enough to serve, we will dump it.
Good for you.
I don't like doing that, but you can dress something up. What do we put lipstick on a pig?
Yeah.
But there's a point where there's not enough makeup for that pig, and you have to dump it. So.
Well, like when you said an ESB, like you got me right there. I was like, oh, I've had really great ESBs. And I've had really bad ESBs.
That's why I'm a little scared to try it.
And I don't honestly think there was like a middle where I was like, oh, this isn't bad.
You either love it or hate it, right? So,
yeah. It's an interesting beer. And they love it.
So scary style to play with because you don't know how it's going to work out.
Yeah. And so with that, like, is it one of those things when you're doing it, you all or nothing, or do you do like an experimental batch?
That's a great question.
Because that's tough, right?
Well, it can be. We're still lucky that we're kind of a small brewery.
Yeah.
So anything I make, I mean, we can do like our regular size batch is a 5-barrel. That's pretty small. That's experimental for a big brewery, right? And if we like it, if we're doing like more production, then we're turning it twice or even 3 times to do a 10 or 15 barrel. But we're still pretty small. So the thing is, probably right now, if we're going for it, we feel pretty confident we'll at least do a 5-barrel batch out of it.
Okay.
And if I have to dump it, it's not a tremendous amount of waste of money and resources. We learned something. Could we do a 1-barrel? Yeah, we could. Could I even do another 5-barrel batch in my garage?
But it's hard to scale that up, though, right?
It depends.
Yeah.
It's scaling is. I don't know. Scaling is a little bit of an art as much of a science, right? I mean, I will admit that I was pretty fortunate because several of the beers you're drinking on this flight were developed in my garage, and they taste about the same now as they did back when I did a 5-barrel batch.
That's pretty impressive.
I've been very fortunate in scaling. I think we've been very smart with scaling. Do some styles scale better than others? Yes.
Yeah.
But I can't give you all the secrets right now, so.
Yeah. You have
to drink more beer, then I give you more secrets. So.
Oh, yeah. So tell us another. No.
We're here all night.
We're here
learning
all night.
the secrets.
Yeah, very much so. Man. So do you guys ever do like casks?
We've never done a cask.
Really?
I find it interesting, and it's one of those things on the list, right? It's funny being around 7 years. 7 years feels long, but it's not. There's still so many things to experiment with. I feel like our bourbon barrel game has gotten really good, and we've been able to age things for different times. We've even bourbon barrel aged cider before, which is amazing. I'll tell you that. We're gonna do another one of those this year. Cask is something I haven't quite done. I'm interested.
Yeah.
But I haven't spent the time doing the research yet to have that figured out. So.
You guys don't can at all, do you?
We do. We have a bunch of cans right behind us there.
Oh, duh.
So
I see it. Duh.
but we can everything really small batch in house.
We have it right in front of your face, Chris.
Yeah.
Right there.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
So hopefully it takes something to go tonight. But yeah, we have 4 packs to go. We have singles to go. You can do a mix and match thing.
All right.
We have growlers, and so we have all the ways that you can. We can upsell you.
I remember I had to get rid of all. I remember back in the day, growler. You had to get a growler from everywhere. So I had 20 growlers. I remember getting rid of all.
We'll
of
bring
those.
them in. You know what's funny is
anymore.
I've read that nationally the growler game is not so good anymore. But we still do fantastic with growlers.
Really?
I just had to order a bunch of new growlers. We still not only have people buying growlers, but bringing their growlers in. So I don't know if less people are just filling them these days or what. But we've always done that.
Do you do the crowlers?
Well, no. So what we do is we do 4 packs to go. So if you want something canned, you're going to get that.
I gotcha.
And these are 16 ounces. They're better. So it's a one pour than trying to open this massive can and hopefully you drink it all.
Right.
And then what we do is we have 32-ounce PETs. These are plastic bottles, basically. They're 32 ounce.
Oh.
And that's a crawler size. And what they are is you can throw them away. You can recycle them. You can bring them back. We can refill them. Or if you want the old school glass, then you get a 64-ouncer. So we really have 3 different ways. I will admit, I'm not a fan of crawlers. And the reason I'm not a fan of crawlers is for a couple reasons. One, it takes your staff away who are serving beers away, messing with a canning machine that they may or may not understand very well. They're usually not very well sanitized. Sometimes you get a CO2 purge. So how long that crawler is going to last may last a day, it may last a month, who knows? So it's very inconsistent. Whereas here, we basically use a crawler machine to package all of our 16-ounce cans. My brew staff will do that twice a week, freshly canned, ready for you to go, sanitized cans, CO2 purge, properly filled, properly capped. That's the way to do it.
That sounds way better.
So you know you're getting, it's way better. You get a better product.
I've had a crowler.
These can last 6 months.
Okay.
I've had a crowler, quote unquote, pop on me before.
Yeah.
Bad things happen.
Yeah.
Very much so. So bigger question.
Okay, big questions.
Do you drink hard alcohol at all?
A little bit, but not often.
What are your feelings on Malort?
I really haven't had it, to be honest with you. So
I have a Malort tattoo on my arm.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's cool.
and I'm not from Chicago.
That's fair.
You
That's
never
fair.
had it. Oh, see, now I feel like we got to drink Malort together.
Okay, well, let's get together.
You've never had the devil's champagne?
Nah. I mean, I'll drink a little whiskey, a little scotch every now and then, but I don't drink as much hard stuff
Well,
anymore.
Malort's not
but I have
really
all this
hard,
beer
but-
I have to drink.
No, I
you know,
got you.
I mean, this is a lot of work. You don't understand.
Yeah.
This is all a lot of QA/QC I'm doing all the time here to make sure my product's good. I tell people I am not drinking too much. I am doing QA/QC for my company, and this matters. I'm doing the work.
Okay. I'm trying the Wicked Pisser as we speak
Oh,
right
okay,
now.
good. So this is our second bestseller, Hazy
Yeah.
IPA.
Hazy IPA. I was gonna say, how do you not have an IPA that's up there at the top? Because like it's either because the hazy is like the IPA now, right? That's because like IPA has several, there's the West Coast, there's the hazy.
Well, you had the Bull, which was the West Coast.
Yeah.
And then we have the Hazy. And I think actually here in the
try it?
Northeast Heights tap room, I think the Bull actually outsells the Hazy just by a little bit. In Rio Rancho, the Hazy outsells the Bull by a little bit.
Interesting, because those are the two, like a hazy and a West Coast.
Yeah.
Those are the two that like everybody wants now. It seems like.
Well, yeah, because I think bestsellers are Mexican Lager.
Yeah.
And then here, I think is Bull, and then
because you
Hazy.
used to have like the double IPA and the triple IPA and the
We do those occasionally.
Yeah.
So, like I said, the last X IPA we did was like a triple imperial, but we don't do those very often.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get a few things above 8%, but we really try to have a lot of our stuff in that lower alcohol range. So again, more approachable, more drinkable. I'd rather have somebody come in and drink 3 than just 2. I make
Okay.
more money.
Yeah.
I know that sounds terrible, but
No.
I got to pay the bills. I
No,
got to pay.
you got to keep the lights on. You got to pay your staff.
Yeah. So
You got to electrical bills. Is
yeah,
insane.
there's
I'm
lots
sure.
of bills. Yeah.
Gas bill.
Yeah.
All that stuff. I always love when people are like, "Why don't you make this beer?" Well, you bought it and no one else did. We don't make that shirt anymore because you bought it, no one else did. And that's how that goes. I mean, that's.
But it's fun to have a couple strong things because
yeah.
there are a subset of people who want those strong things. And so, again, we're trying to, I mean, you can never make everyone happy,
No.
of course, but I try to have a nice variety. I tell people there's no way you're going to come in here and not find one thing you want to drink.
Right.
Even if you don't like beer or cider, you're going to like probably one of our cider cocktails or maybe even a spirit-based cocktail, which is okay.
Yeah. Well, tell us about the non-alcoholic beverage you're making for the Albuquerque Comic-Con. Like,
Yeah.
what did you go out to make it for the Comic-Con, or is this something you said?
No. We actually released this earlier in the summer, and I'll be honest, I cannot take any credit for this.
What's it called again?
It's called Lab-Aid.
Lab-Aid.
So it's an electrolyte seltzer,
Okay.
kind of like a Gatorade, but carbonated, right?
All right.
Or even like a liquid IV. We've bumped up the
Wow.
potassium and the magnesium and the sodium, a little bit of glucose in there, and so you are really rehydrating. And again, for us, it's great non-alcoholic. We actually have it on tap.
Wow.
But you can also, it's a great mixer. So if you do want to spike with some vodka or some agave spirit, fantastic. You're hydrating while dehydrating. It's a lot of science there.
Mix it with Malort. Who knows?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want, man, and it's great. And it's got a great raspberry lemonade flavor. I'll tell you, like when my staff introduced it to me, I was not expecting a whole lot, and I was like, "Wow, guys, you knocked us out of the park." Because it's still in the middle of January. We have it going, and so
It's dry January.
it's dry January. So it's now a great sort of non-alcoholic option.
It's dry January.
Yeah,
according
and
to
when
us.
Austin asked me about doing this, obviously we couldn't really do alcohol in the format of Comic-Con, but being able to do Lab-Aid, keep everybody energetic and going and moving and keep their costumes going.
That'll
right?
be us because
Yeah.
we're gonna be live streaming there in front
Yeah,
of that.
so we're going to keep you going, man. We're going to keep you hydrated, keep you going, keep
be
you
all,
fresh. We've even thought, now this one is not caffeinated. We've thought about doing a caffeinated version. So I'm curious to pick the public's opinion to see if they want a caffeinated version or not. So that's kind of like energy drink meets.
You're gonna become the white monster of
I guess.
of like Albuquerque.
I guess, but
I don't drink that stuff, but I have so many coworkers. They're like every day. They're like, I got to get a white monster. And they drink those white monsters like it's like going out of style.
Oh yeah, right. It's crazy, right? And they're not cheap either, right?
No.
I mean, they're expensive. So
Like $3 or $4 a can.
So this is a really fun format for us to try this because we've never really pushed this as a product in a different place than our tap rooms before. So I'm really anxious to see with the samples what the public thinks because this could be kind of a really cool extra thing for us to do.
6 years from now. We started making beer.
Yeah, we don't make beer anymore.
We don't even
just
make beer
do
anymore. We
Lab-Aid.
make this Lab-Aid. It's called Lab-Aid. And then now we all do base jumping and extreme motocross.
Yeah, but I mean, NA has always been popular because we also do have our own craft root beer on tap that we make. That's NA. We've been doing that the entire time we've been open. People love that root beer. We actually have some here if you guys want to try it.
I do.
We always do mocktails. We have sodas. So again, try and be approachable for everybody. We try to be very family friendly.
Yeah.
So we want kids to be able to come here and still get something fun, enjoyable. In Rio Rancho, we have slushies out there of non-alcoholic slushies.
Well, thank you for not letting the kids drink here.
We try not to.
That's a
yeah,
plus.
The state frowns upon that. So
what they do out in the parking lot is. Just kidding.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
yeah.
No, that's happening.
Yeah.
So, do you guys ever have like live music at probably not at this venue, but like at your other?
We have live music both venues actually.
venues,
Every
okay.
Saturday at 7 we have live music here and in Rio Rancho. We actually have an open mic here on Wednesday.
Yeah.
We do trivia on Wednesdays in Rio
I
Rancho.
heard karaoke.
We do karaoke here on Thursdays. Karaoke's happening right now in Rio Rancho, so if you want to go over there and do it, let's do it.
That's a long way.
We do single music bingo on Fridays here.
Okay.
And Mondays there. Super fun. Okay, so imagine bingo, right? Imagine bingo card.
Yeah.
But instead of like letters and numbers, you actually have like names of songs. Let's say it's 80s rock anthems.
I've done this, yeah.
Right? And then you hear the song, 30-second clip, you identify the song, you tick it off, and you
It's
get
fun.
a line, right?
It's fun.
It's super fun. People love it. They sing. It's awesome. So,
Yeah, I've done it before. It's super fun.
I mean, in Rio Rancho, we do this on Monday. We fill the entire place up, which is twice the size, on a Monday.
That's fantastic.
And they're drinking beer, not just Lab Aid. Okay, so I mean, they're really into it.
So you sang in punk rock, you sang in metal. So who are some of your influences?
Oh man. Okay, so old school influences. It's got to be like you got bands like Metallica. Megadeth is a huge one.
Well, which Metallica?
Old Metallica. Okay.
If you go, well, there's only one. Well, come on.
I mean,
now.
once you get, okay, you're gonna make me feel. Once you get past Black Album,
There you go.
it gets a little rough for me. Okay,
It's another band.
okay,
They're a completely
so
different band.
We agreed to that then. Megadeth has always been a longtime favorite. Pantera.
Yeah.
If you're getting into, I guess,
Did you go see Pantera when they came a couple months ago?
Not this last time, but before when they came.
All
It
right.
was like a year and a half ago,
Yeah.
I think. So,
Yeah.
if you get into like, you say more modern, but they're almost getting classic now too. Slipknot, Korn, all those kind of bands, right?
Okay.
So that's kind of stuff I was doing more sort of back in the day there. So,
I didn't hear any punk in there though. That's where I was. I'm sad.
well, yeah.
I'm more of a punk. I like metal, but
I'll admit, it's what's weird is that I wouldn't say I was ever like a huge punk fan. Now, if I get into like hardcore, like DRI and stuff like that,
geez.
you want to get there. Like, yes, that's more like where I'm at. I mean, if you want to get into Misfits and stuff like that,
I was gonna say,
I listen a little bit of that, but
Misfits
I
was
don't
good.
feel like I tried to emulate that. So
No.
I probably was that more like hardcore
well, you're
metal.
probably too tall to emulate Glenn Danzig. So
I'm
yeah.
not that tall. But
taller than him.
But Danzig's good though too. I mean,
Yeah.
even Danzig was like he was like between metal and punk,
Mother,
right?
yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
Mother's like I'd say it's almost more metal than punk, really. I mean,
Yeah.
but I mean, it was that like changeability, right? You weren't
Yeah.
just one thing or the other anymore. You were like
and you got into the
between,
hardcore
right?
and the post-hardcore.
Yeah.
just all that. I'm like a Social D, a little Fugazi.
Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
can get down with that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I used to do
mean,
some social DJ.
Ramones.
Yeah, Ramones. Well, Social Distortion covers back in the day, Ball and Chain, stuff like that.
Queers are coming, so I'm excited again.
Cool. Yeah.
If you want to see, and they're a great band to go see if you want to see 152 songs sang in like an hour. So like,
Right.
it's like, next. That song was 1 minute and 6 seconds. This song will be 2 minutes and 1 second. Like it's like, wow, that was the whole song. I love that kind of stuff though. So if you could brew, if I said, hey, you can only brew one beer the rest of your life, what would be that beer?
Oh, jeez, bro. That's a tough one, man.
I know.
Ugh, the rest of my life. It would probably have to be IPA. It'd probably be West Coast
disappointing
IPA.
me right
I
now.
know I'm going to disappoint you.
It's all right though.
But it's like the whole thing, okay, if I want to drink one beer in a desert island, if I'm on a desert island, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to go to work or do anything,
Yeah.
right? I'm just sitting there all day. So, I mean, I will. And here's what I'll tell you. It's an interesting thing because some people will tell you their philosophy is, well, IPAs, you just mask everything with hops. And there's some truth to that. Lagers
is.
are pure. But the reality is, I will tell you, when I brew an IPA, like you take something like the Bull, which I developed with 7 different hops additions the process control is insane because you're adding these different amounts of hops at these different time steps, and your pH has to be right, and then all these things have to happen right. So for me, it's the most complex beer I ever produce. So therefore, I find it the most challenging, especially to be reproducible. So that's why I would do that.
As an artist, like I know a lot of different artists in a lot of different forms, like songwriters, like guitar players, painters, poets, and I feel like if you're a true artist, you're never finished with your art.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way about like some of your recipes? Do you feel like, well, it's good enough to put out, but it's not where I want it to be?
I don't know if I'd say that about any one recipe. I feel like each recipe has gotten where it needs to be, but there's always that next recipe, right? And I do feel, and that's kind of said, I know I'll disappoint you again, but IPAs, there's so much room to do different stuff.
Yeah.
Like lagers, the whole quest is trying to get the cleanest beer you possibly can.
Yeah.
And that's okay, but it's not a fun quest, It's a lot more sanitation. It's a lot more process control, but I mean, it's like, think about if you make a soup or some sort of cooking recipe. Like, I'll put a little bit of this in and that in and that in, and IPAs, you're doing a lot of that, but you're still speaking kind of controlled manner. And so I feel like there's a lot of room to play and still create a lot of new things. So that's where the X-IPA is. We're always playing with that sort of evolving mobile recipe to figure out, well, where can it go? Like, where can we push it to? And then people love it, and then you take it away and you give them something different, and they're like, but I like this more. And like, well, see, that's why we didn't keep making that same thing. We made something different, and you love that more. So that's sort of fun to kind of experiment with and be artistic and creative with. So
see, now I want someone to open a soupery. You said soup, and I was like, so I could get a flight of soup.
There we go. That could be kind of fun. You're working onto something new. Well, maybe you should do that.
There was a place that closed down here before I realized it existed, and it was a breakfast cereal place. And you could go and get your own breakfast cereal. Like
you cereal?
You could.
I remember that.
Yeah.
What do they charge for that?
I don't know. It closed down.
Probably not enough.
I was like, no. And like they had different milks.
Wow.
And I was like,
that is interesting.
And when I first heard of it, I was like, that's the stupidest. And then I stopped and I was like,
no, you thought about it.
Like,
wait a minute.
Like I could mix and match, and I could.
It was great.
What the?
No, it's a cool
How did
idea.
This fail?
But I feel like you'd struggle to charge enough.
They
to
were
ahead
stay
of
open,
their
time.
They were. Maybe they needed cereal and soup. Right? You do the two together.
Soup and cereal.
There you go. Because you got breakfast and you got lunch. Maybe even dinner.
I think the I
you
think
could just call it. You don't give an F anymore.
Yeah. What?
I think their model actually fell apart, and the fact that you need people to leave, and they kind of
you can't do all you can eat.
They kind of catered to stoners who would sit there for like an hour watching cartoons and eating cereal.
I mean, doesn't
I would
most
like
of
another
society
bowl.
now?
I would like another bowl. So you kind of have to get them to leave to make room for other people.
Ahead of their time, because now we have all the dispensaries. If they were around now, interesting. Anyway, there was somebody like locally here that made a Lucky Charms beer, and it sounded disgusting to me. And then I had it, and I was like, "Oh, that's..."
I'm trying to think who it was. It might have been Bosque.
It was Red
Rest
Door.
in peace. It was Red Door. Okay.
Back when they were brewing.
Oh, rest in peace.
I mean, there's not really around. I mean, they're kind of around, but not
I think
around.
they brew a little bit down in
Clovis.
Clovis.
That's
yes.
where I'm from.
Oh, okay.
That's my home. Yeah.
Well, that explains a lot.
Fair
joking. Just joking.
No, I don't care. Like, I get it. I get it 100%.
So we've made a couple fun beers before. So I'm a big fan of Monster cereals.
From what?
Being Monster cereals, the Monster, like the blueberry. So we've actually made.
You've got my. You piqued my interest too.
Yeah. So we haven't done it in a few years now, but we made a blueberry cereal, which blueberry was always my favorite, right?
Oh wow! I love blueberry, and I love blueberry.
Yes. And we won't even get into the whole story of how once when I was a kid, I had too much blueberry, vomited it. It was blue. Really interesting stuff. We'll move along. But we also did a Count Chocula one, and then the last one we did. This might be fun because did you go to Costco at all?
Yeah, of course.
So Costco had like all the monsters
Yeah.
in one big pack,
Yeah.
right? And they had the newer monster, which I don't know. It was like a raspberry
Is it a
guy.
ghost?
Is it
Yeah.
Fruit Brewed or something?
Yeah.
I didn't know Fruit Brewed. He was kind of new to me. But we said, okay, you know what we're going to do is we're going to try to do something
Costco
really
exclusive.
crazy. And I thought this might be disgusting. My brewer said he wanted to do it. He's like, we're going to buy all that. We're going to put it all in there, all the cereals. And I said, so you're going to do a monster mash? And that's what we called it. It was great. It was pretty good, actually.
It wasn't a Lucky Charms. It was a Fruity Pebbles. That's what it was.
Oh, Fruity
The
Pebbles.
beer
yeah.
was a Fruity Pebbles. I forgot
Okay.
about that. But
I think a couple people did Fruity Pebble beer.
how did it turn out?
It actually turned out great. Like, surprised. Because I thought, like, when you mix those different flavors, that's not going to be good.
Well, the whole idea is like you don't want it to overpower. You want it to be subtle.
Yeah, and so
Right?
we did ours in the mash. Again, Monster Mash. I'm sorry to belabor that, but it's
I love
pretty
it. No, I
funny,
love it. No,
okay?
it's fun. It's
Even
fun.
though I can't, okay, he's chuckling a little bit now. I really am working hard for this joke.
I loved it.
Yeah. But what was funny, though, is the only flavor, because you think you got chocolate in there, you got blueberry, right? The only flavor that came through was the damn Fruit Brute, which was like this fruity sort of flavor. So it was good, but it was it didn't taste like a homogenous version of all the monsters come together. But it was pretty cool. We enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, that kind of leads me to another question. Does fruit belong in beer?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Yeah. Because I used to get chewed out because I do a lot of wheats, and they'd put the orange slice in there, and people were like, "Oh, you got fruit in your beer?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got fruit in my beer."
Well, again, as we were talked about, we're certainly not purists here. We're certainly not for beer geeks. So most of the time, if you order a Sexy New Mexi, I think your first one you had a lime slice in there. And if you get the Walter Witt, which I think you should have next because that's the wheat
Oh,
beer,
yeah, I'll have one.
we'll offer you an orange because it's kind of like a Blue Moon.
Is this the root beer? Oh, okay.
So yes, I think fruit can accompany beer very nicely.
Oh, yeah.
You like that?
I love it. Big time.
Yeah, no, and again, I will tell people, like, I can only credit one of my partners who brought that root beer recipe to the table. I'm not a huge root beer fan, but I think for a root beer, it's exceptional.
What's the other one that people will brew? It's not root beer, but it's
Sarsaparilla?
no, cream soda.
Cream soda.
Have you ever thought of
sarsaparilla.
doing one of those?
We've thought about it, but the whole thing is I like to keep them on tap, and my beer and cider taps will make more money. So I can
Sure.
only have so many taps
Oh, no, I gotcha.
towards non-alcoholic.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
in time, maybe this
Yeah.
whole Lab Aid thing, like the whole non-alcoholic
So come
thing,
here and
like
drink
works
and
for-
bring money, please.
Yeah, please do. So where? Now I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm trying
I was
to think
saying, does fruit belong in beer? But
fruit. Okay, so we talked about fruit, like just adding fruit. That's fine. I'm not huge about adding lots of fruit directly to the beer, like mashing it in or
Oh, no, I just mean,
fermenting
like,
it in.
putting a piece
well,
of fruit in
that's
there.
easy, and we do
Yeah.
that right now, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not against any of adding fruit. I feel like if you're trying to create something
Yeah.
different and it's done well,
Yeah.
then there shouldn't be any rules.
things pair together. They just do, and it's fun. If someone enjoys it, leave them alone. They like it.
Well, yeah. So I don't feel like there needs to be lots of rules in beer or anything like that. I think when people put up rules, it stifles creativity.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is, we're not expecting when we make a beer that everyone in this room is going to like that beer.
No.
As long as enough people like the beer, then we're good.
More than half.
And
right?
if more than enough people like it, then it's great. We brew it again. So
how come people don't make saisons anymore?
you know,
know?
I don't know. I just don't think it's a style that sells as well.
That's the answer.
You know, it's a very pronounced style, right? I mean,
It's a
all that
summer thing, too.
Yeah, saisons, Belgians, all that
Yeah.
stuff. It's very only a small, just like sours, right? Just a
Yeah.
small subset of people like that, and so, you don't want to brew a big batch of something and have it sit around for 6 months.
Do you when you make your sour, do you cheat?
When I make my sour, we don't actually make sours very often, to be honest, because we have a really strong cider game, and when we've made the occasional cider, what we found is
The wheat.
they don't sell.
Wheat. The wheat.
Walter Witt.
Walter Witt. Yeah.
What we found is when we have a sour, they just don't move very fast because everyone wants the ciders. So again, I kind of come back to,
Yeah.
I mentioned before that I think a lot of breweries who don't have the ability to make ciders because they don't have the
Yeah.
wine license will make a sour because it's a nice alternative. But
Yeah.
a cider, I feel like beats a sour almost every day of the week.
Okay.
I'm sure some people
But-
will not agree with me.
But like what I'm asking, like so, there used to be a brewery here that used to make sours, that was like their thing, and they're like, everyone cheats. They use yogurt. And I was like, oh. I had no idea.
Well, no, I mean, so when we've made the occasional
Yeah.
sour, we've used a straight up lactobacillus bacteria, not necessarily from yogurt. But I don't know if I would consider that honestly as a brewer cheating. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
there's plenty of lactobacillus acid in a yogurt.
Yeah.
So how you get your lactobacillus, where you buy it from a brew place and have it in a package and you dump it in, or you dump in a bunch of yogurt.
Interesting.
It's the same bacteria no matter what. I mean, basically you're infecting your beer. I mean, that's the point, right? So that's why I always think sours are really wild
sounds
from a scientific
disgusting.
standpoint, because the whole point is we spend as brewers all our time in the world not having stray bacteria, yeast get into our product. We sanitize the hell out of it. But then you have a situation where you like intentionally inoculate your beer with bacteria to mess it up.
Yeah.
And so that just kind of blows my mind, honestly.
Sometimes random too.
Well, yeah,
Just-
and people dig it, you know.
Yeah.
So
I do.
So the
I'm
whole
a
thing
sour
is,
fan.
if you're going to go big with messing up your beer, you got to go big, right? You can't just put a little bit of bacteria in there because that ruins the beer. You got to go lots of bacteria in there, right? So whether it's dumping in huge vats of yogurt or
It's like
pure
counterproductive. You're, like,
yeah.
you're counterintuitive. You're like, this is weird.
Yeah.
We're destroying it.
Well, it's changing it, right?
Yeah.
Fundamentally changing
Yeah.
it. So yeah, I think that's the right way, though. You have to get a sour. You really have to make sure you inoculate it with enough bacteria that you actually really get that quote unquote sour sort of texture and taste. Otherwise, something in between is just not good.
Okay.
So-
So a big question, and I think this is a big question, Mark, is we've been in Albuquerque. I've been here 19 years.
Okay.
And I've gotten to see the brewery industry, like, in its infancy, at its peak. And I feel like right now, not just here, but like nationally, we're kind of like the alcohol industry
It's a little bit of struggle.
is struggling. Like, what do you see as the future of alcohol and brewing? I mean,
That's a great question.
yeah.
I think the brewery scene is retracting a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I think we've all seen it. We don't need to pontificate too much about it. We've seen all the news. I think alcohol drinking habits are changing. Some folks are moving away from beer because it was either too filling or too strong. Some people are moving to cocktails. Some people are just drinking less.
Right.
Newer generations are drinking less. Right. We've seen a lot of
the
Or
NA, the
entirely
NA.
different things.
yeah, the
Yeah.
NA. We've seen the legalization of marijuana, which is creating an alternative for some folks. So I mean, the game's changing, right? And the pandemic, I think everyone probably walked away from the pandemic thinking, well, I drank way too much and I need to slow down, right? So I think everyone's being a little more conscious of things now.
And people are sitting at home like in their jammies, just lit at like 8 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, beer's
I
always
was.
going to be here. Beer has been around for
Yeah.
thousands of years.
It has.
Beer's not going to change.
No.
I mean, do you have an ebb and flow? Yes, because craft
Yeah.
beer wasn't always this big, right? And then you
No.
look at before Prohibition, right? Craft beer was probably bigger than it ever was now, and then it got kind of punched down, and things ebb and flow. Business changes. I think for what we're trying to do, I think we've been on a solid track, and I'm sure you're going to see the brewery industry do this, is the idea of just becoming a great local watering hole, like a great neighborhood brew pub. And that's why we really want to have these alternatives, right? That's why we have spirits and other things.
Yeah.
We know not everybody wants to drink beer, but they might come in here with a bunch of their beer buddies.
Sure.
And they have something else they can drink, and they don't have to say, well, we have to go down to the bar down the street
No.
because you have no vodka here. No, if you want a vodka cranberry, you can get a vodka cranberry here, but your buddies can still drink great beer, and that's okay. So I think you're going to see more specialization, right? I think you're going to see breweries and even bars, restaurants really have to focus on customers and providing the whole package. Like we talked about all the different events we do. We really try to provide the whole package. Yes, we have great products. We also have a great location. We have a great vibe. We have fantastic service. We have great
You
free
can see by
events.
the people
Food
here.
trucks.
Yeah, we got Lego going on here right
It's
now.
a Tuesday
we have a
night,
lot of people
yeah.
having a fun time here.
Yeah.
So you're bringing more to the community than just beer. You really have to be everything. And so that's what we're doing, and I think you're going to see more people doing that, and I think that's how you survive, and who knows, in
Yeah.
5 years, 10 years, craft beer will blossom again, and I don't know.
I have to wave at that dog that's leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the cutest dog I've ever seen. What? Yeah, come over. Yeah. Yeah. Can we let's see this dog on the camera. This is the cutest dog. Look at this. Look at this dog right here.
This is Charlie.
Charlie drank a lot of beer tonight, though.
Charlie.
No, he's cut off.
Yeah, he's got off of you.
Charlie's a
You see his
sweetie.
eyes. His eyes are like, man, I've had too much beer.
Charlie, 5 months, takes all my thunder,
Oh, well, as he should.
as he should.
Oh.
All right, thank you, sir.
I'll let you guys
Yeah,
get
have a
back
great
to
night.
work.
Be safe out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys,
I had to
is
wave
this
at the
on
dog.
Facebook, Instagram?
Yes. Yeah, it's called 10 drink minimum. Yeah.
Yeah, Austin will give you all the information over here. So yeah.
Hold on. Here you go.
Oh, there you go.
There's a sticker for you.
Oh, cool. Hey,
Yeah.
how come I didn't get a sticker? Put that on our fridge.
There you go.
Sweet.
But yeah, so I think what you hit upon that I really love and like a big thing is like, you know, a lot of we're you know, I hate to say the word, we live in like turbulent times, but I mean, things are
We do.
chaotic.
It's okay.
Things are chaotic. Things are wild. And people are like, you know, they look like people will ask me, they're like, what do you think? You know, what do you think needs to happen here? And I always I go back to literally one word. And this one word, in my opinion, will always be the thing that brings us back to where we should be, and that's community.
yes.
Community
Yes.
is
Everything.
I think he's asking you. The Walter Witt.
Walter Witt.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't? Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
I think we just took it off. I apologize. We have a Rio Rancher, though. I'll get you some.
Okay. I'll just do the sexy.
Sexy.
Yeah. What do you want?
The-
Oh, they already got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but you come back to community. I mean, if you provide a place where a diverse group of people can come and have a good time and not have strife and can realize that, you know, just because we don't agree on one thing doesn't mean we can't agree on other things. Because I feel like too much in life right now, everybody's like, well, you're this and I'm that, and we're never going to
Everyone's
see eye to
picking
eye.
sides and being
Yeah.
extreme. Yeah, and that's the thing is we've always tried
Yeah.
to create a place where people can just, again, we talked about earlier on, friends can just get together and drink beer and talk about things. And we don't have to
Yeah.
agree about everything we talk about.
We can
Let's
all-
do it in
all
a
dis-
civil way.
We
right?
can all disagree on the thing we should disagree
Yeah.
on, and that's called sports.
But let's all agree that beer's fantastic
Beer's
here, right? That's
fantastic,
what we
and then my sports team is better than yours. And
Yeah,
that's
of course,
just how
of
it
course,
is,
yeah.
You know? The Cubs are the greatest baseball team that ever lived, and that's just the rules. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, that's what people should disagree about is sports. Not to a degree where, you know, you get violent, but, you know,
Yes,
that's how life
of
goes.
course, yeah.
But creating an environment where everyone feels welcome, everyone feels, you know, that they can be here. That's I feel like a lot of times things people don't think about, you know?
No, we're starting to lose touch of that.
Yeah, and everybody's sitting there amongst each other, just drinking, whether you know them, whether you don't.
Yeah.
Whether
Everybody
your
just gets
family,
together,
whether your
yeah.
friends, you know, you're just sitting amongst everyone, you know? And that's community. I mean, that's, you know,
And that's why we don't have a really longest space, but we have a couple
Yeah.
really long tables here. Rio Rancho have a couple really long tables, and people do have multiple groups get together on the same table. And
are
it
people
creates,
just putting together
I've
Legos on the
seen that.
table over there?
Yeah,
That's
this
amazing.
this is Lego night. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
So again, this is just one of our activities. We
Wow.
have Big Brothers Bricks in the house. So a little shout out to those guys kicking
Nice.
butt. We do this once a month here, once a month at Rio Rancho.
Just drinking
And,
beer. See,
yeah, what you do is you pay one low cost. You pick yourself out a set. You get to build it. You get to keep it. You get a drink as part of that cost. It's a good deal. It's
that's
like
pretty
$35.
amazing.
Yeah,
That's
it's awesome.
What?
I know, right?
Man, that's
So
pretty
we have
damn
all
cool.
the fun here.
Yeah.
So
That's fantastic.
yeah.
Wow. Like if you come to my house, I have several Lego race cars.
Cool.
I do Lego race cars.
Well, you can still jump in here and play some Lego tonight if you want. You know, you jump in there and
Yeah,
Build-
maybe I might do that because that's it's weird. And people are like, do you like the car? I'm like, no, I like probably on the spectrum. Don't know, never been tested. But like, it's one of those things where like this calms me and this focuses me. You know,
Yeah.
it's like boom. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I can put these together and I don't focus on anything else.
well, that's the thing. Like I said, people need to
Yeah.
unplug, and it's a nice little way to
Yeah,
unplug. So
it is, and it's weird because I
thank you to Austin. He's a good beer server.
and you know it's one of those things where like as you know as I've grown into an adult, I really enjoy the fact that
Thank you.
people are more open about what their hobbies are, whereas when I was younger, you know, hobbies were looked down upon, you know, like, you know, the nerd culture, whatnot. You know, we're going to the Comic-Con, and like Comic-Cons like are huge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, have you been to the Comic-Con?
No, that's why I'm super excited to be
You're
part
going
of
to
it
see
this
how
year.
big it is.
Yeah, no, I've heard lots of great things, and so I'm really excited to do it. And
Nerd culture is at its peak right now.
well, and to your point, like, look, like I said, we all played Legos as kids, but look, grown adults are doing
Right.
it here in the bar while they're
Right.
drinking beer. I mean,
Dude.
that is like,
Dude, when you're like on social media and there's like a Lego DeLorean Back to the Future car, you're like, for a second there, like
You're
that
geeking out,
dopamine just kicks in, and you're like, whoa, like,
Right.
and then you're like 300. Well, I could, like you start like doing that thing in your head, and you're like Lego Millennium Falcon. You're like,
that's pretty sick.
all right,
Yeah.
that's pretty sick. And then you're like, your significant other's like, we don't need that, and you're like, yeah, I know, but I want it.
You get a different one.
But I
So
want it. But I really want it.
We'll get a matching pair.
And then they go,
Right.
maybe for Christmas, and you're like, okay,
right,
Yeah.
right. You got to compromise, I guess.
Well, we're going into Comic-Con. What's your nerd life here? What are you nerdy about?
Well, I'm super nerdy about science and engineering. So
really?
I
Okay.
mean,
He makes beer, man.
I know that, but there's when he goes
well,
home, there's
so Gene Simmons is supposed to be there.
Oh,
I really
yeah.
want. So I mean, being again a metal
Kiss,
music guy,
Kiss,
so
yeah.
I'm really hoping I can meet Gene Simmons. I've been told that maybe Gene Simmons might help interact with Lab Aid. I don't know.
Yeah.
Promises are being made. We'll see if they're kept. But I'm really excited.
Gene Simmons won't do Gene Simmons don't want to do it.
I know. So I'm hoping. Hope I can get
All
on his
right.
good side. We'll see.
So you're a metal nerd.
Yeah, I'm a metal nerd. Yeah.
So Gene
yeah.
Simmons, who else?
Ooh,
If they were there, you'd be like, ooh.
I don't know. I'm trying to remember who's there. I
No,
was
no,
looking
no,
at-
no, no. In life, like if someone if they were there, you'd be like, well, I'm there.
Oh.
This is what I want to know.
I say Tony Stark's not going to be there, right? So
You mean the real Tony Stark, or you mean Robert Downey Jr.?
Yeah, in any form of that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that'd be
There's
pretty
a
cool.
guy, so I do the El Paso Comic Con, and every year there's a guy who does not Iron Man. He does Tony Stark, and I mean he is pretty dead on Tony Stark, where people run up and like take photos with
I
him.
wonder if the Breaking Bad guys are going to be there, or at least the guys who sort of are actors for Breaking Bad. Not the guys. I know they probably won't be there. But
No, they're not gonna be there.
Yeah.
but like you're talking about like the people who cosplay as them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're probably
There's one
some
guy
of that.
that does Walter White that's almost always there.
Okay. Well, that'd be cool.
And yeah, but like, are you a big Breaking Bad? I guess apparently you are.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can appreciate that, and obviously it fits with the brand. People dig that. So, actually, I just got the guys. I'll give a little shout out to the RV Breaking Bad tour
Yeah,
guys.
I was gonna
They
say.
live actually right behind Brewlab, and they have the
nice.
actual. Have you seen the RVs that they have?
Okay. So I live downtown, and I'll eat at Java Joe's,
Yeah.
which was Tuco's Lair.
Okay.
And so you'll be outside, and you're like mid like pancakes, and they pull up, and you're like, and you just see like, and you're just like,
Yep.
they're taking pictures of like I'm out in front of this, like I'm gonna be in there.
So
like,
he's got a couple different
Yeah.
RVs, right? He's got the ones
Oh,
he does
yeah.
on the tour, but he actually has one of the replica RVs that I think, don't quote me, but I know he said it was in 2 different seasons. I think season 3 and season 5, but he's actually brought it to Brewlab, and people can go on there and tour it. It's got the whole little lab
Oh,
Are you
inside.
sure? Because I know they destroyed the original one.
I told you not to quote me, but
Yeah.
I've been told it's been at least one of the seasons.
Okay, it's possible. It's possible because
All right.
they did destroy the original one.
No, I
My
remember
friend
he
was
told
the-
me that one, but that's why I think
Yeah.
they had to have this other one for
Yeah,
other
that- right.
seasons, right?
They
so
had
there
to
are
bring it
multiple
back.
versions,
yeah,
right?
No,
so,
yeah, because they were like because they had to bring it back because they wrote it back in.
yeah,
and they
so
were like,
he
crap.
owns one of them, right?
Interesting,
So,
okay.
Anyway, so apparently they're in the process of making a balloon, like a hot air balloon.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so he contacted me actually today because, we've worked together a lot about trying to get a sponsorship going. So I don't know how that's going to work yet, but
okay.
Oh, sounds good.
might be kind of fun, right? Maybe we get a
yeah.
little Brewlab logo on
Yeah.
the balloon or something. I
I
guess
mean,
we'll see.
is Balloon Fiesta big here?
No, it's just this little
A
thing.
little small. I know some of the. So,
I think if people keep promoting it, it
Yeah.
might catch on. I'm not sure. but
so we travel. So we actually do a lot of the Comic Cons. The Albuquerque Comic Con is like one for us, like one of like probably like 5 of them, 4 or 5 that we do.
There's 4.
Yeah, and so we travel, and people go, "Oh, you're from Albuquerque," and then they'll either bring up Breaking Bad or they'll bring up the Balloon Fiesta, and they'll be like,
That's
"Is
what
the
we're
balloon?"
known for.
They're like, "Is the Balloon Fiesta really like a big deal?" And I'll go, "It's the most photographed event in the world.
It's the biggest event we have in Albuquerque.
Well, it's that
the whole state, bro.
And I'll tell them, I'll say like, Albuquerque has about 900,000 to like 1 million people, like with all the
Yeah.
surrounding areas. And in 10 days, we double that.
yeah,
And they're like, really?
yeah, they're
I'm
blown
like,
away, right? So,
Yeah, I was like, that's, and I said, and our infrastructure is not ready for it.
no,
Ever. Ever. and you always do that one thing where you're like, yeah, let's go out to that place we like to eat at, and then you like get in the car and you drive there and you pull in the parking lot.
Like,
and you go,
no.
I forgot about it. Balloon Fiesta. Crap.
Yeah, you know what? It's really funny here because Balloon Fiesta, we find as a business is really hit or miss.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it can be really busy, and other times it's dead. And it's because that same thing. Like the regulars will be like, I ain't going to come to you because you're going to probably be packed. I'm like, no, but I may not be. So,
May not be. But
like, please come. Like,
Yeah. But
I'm the person that's like buying to go food, so I don't have to be anywhere. Maybe like I hate Balloon Fiesta.
right. Well, for us to live locally, we stay away from the freeway.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you try to like I go to eat at the places that I know the balloonists will not go to. In the neighborhoods they might be afraid of.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. But awesome, man.
Gotta support local.
Dude, you're talking about the two guys that support local as local gets.
And we appreciate you. And I really
Yeah.
appreciate being on this with you guys today.
Oh, absolutely, man. We love doing this. We're so excited to be a part of Albuquerque Comic Con once again. We're excited to be here. You know,
For sure.
we love doing this. This is what we do. You know, 20
I didn't know
years.
about this location.
Awesome.
Yeah,
And I love it.
Yeah, I didn't know about this either. Now I'm like, okay,
Like a little hole in the wall spot, but kind of cool,
it's
right?
not.
Pretty good beer.
It's pretty legit spot over there. And is that a food truck like right out there?
Yeah, he's right there every day. Heavy Burgers, 505.
Nice, very cool.
Amazing smash burgers,
I may
change your
have-
life.
May have to get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So right on, man. I very appreciate this for you being on the show. Brewlab 101. You have a location in Rio Rancho and a location on Eubank,
Yes.
and you can come get 4-packs. You can get bottles. That's pretty cool. That you can get like I've never seen the plastic bottle thing.
I'll show you the bottle. Yeah, it's pretty
All right.
neat.
Yeah, very stoked on that. And then you guys are going to be the sponsors for Albuquerque Comic Con, the main
Yes.
sponsors, the Lab Aid,
Beverage sponsor.
which
yep,
I'm
yep.
stoked to try.
Yes.
I mean, I'm going to have a lot of it probably because I'm going to be sitting there like.
we'll keep you well supplied.
Yeah. And you said mix it, so yeah, I'll be all, hey, Scott said to do this.
Yeah, you can go take it to the bar maybe, and they'll
I'm
boil
a
something
follower.
in there for you. Yeah.
We'll be out there. So you said it's a good refresher.
Yeah.
So our buddy Ming Chen is coming into town, and he's from the TV show Comic Book Men that used to be on TV after
AMC?
Walking Dead.
Yep.
And our good friend Ross Marquand from the TV show Walking Dead is also coming in.
Nice.
And we have like literally Ming comes into town, and I'm with him until he leaves town, and we just rage all over Albuquerque, and then do a Comic-Con in the middle of that.
Cool.
You know, so there's going to be lots of shots of Malort.
Wow.
Some karaoke will
Sounds
be
like
sang.
you have the party place,
somewhere.
then I'll be over there.
Yeah, some karaoke will be sang.
Oh, okay. I like to do karaoke.
Yeah. Well, there's a private karaoke party on Saturday night at the El Rey.
Excellent.
So we're going to that. Yeah, we'll be all over. There's,
Cool.
Monte Carlo Steakhouse.
Oh, all right.
Got to, support local.
You guys get around.
Yeah. We're fun. Maybe little Founders. You ever been to Founders?
All right. Yeah. No, I've not. No.
Well, hit
right.
us up. We'll
Let's
come
do
out,
it.
man.
Let's do it, yeah.
We'll exchange. Yeah. And I'm very excited, and I'm very excited you guys are the sponsor, and I'm excited to see you at your first Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And I hope you get to meet Gene Simmons,
I hope so.
and I hope he gets to promote your product. But yeah, anything else?
No, I think we're good.
Yeah. For Smiley, for Scott, I'm Chris, and we are
10
10 drink minimum.